about that, Ben, because you know sometimes you feel like, ah, this guy's been around since day one. I think it's safe to say that MajOr has been around since day one. MajOr has, especially from time to time, has always been considered to be one of the best North American players. I think there were times where people say he's undisputedly the best North American Terra player. And you know, like that MajOr has always done relatively well in the North American scene. I thought it was going to be a little higher than that. And you know what's funny as well is that $10,000 of those $25,000 are from the Latin American Invitational he won in 2011 to qualify for BlizzCon back then.
That's a great point, Kev. But MajOr definitely a consistent performer within the North American scene, and I think is often brought up as one of those top Terran players when you talk explicitly about our region. Now, of course, WCS America means he has to compete against a whole different brand of Terran opponent, and that means he gets to run into guys like TaeJa. He's gonna have his work cut out for him. Yeah,
definitely. The good thing about MajOr though is that he has been part of WCS Premier League all 3 seasons. There are really not that many people who can say that they were part of the Premier League for 3 seasons in a row. Certainly not in the North American region. But, you know, all the appearances that MajOr have made were kind of anonymous. In Season 1, by the way, he's opening with 2 Rexes over here, so we're probably going to see quite a bit of Reaper action while we were just like talking about logistics and everything else. But MajOr's going to open up with a bunch of Reapers. That's something that we've seen TaeJa do multiple times in a couple of his games against Innovation as well. I remember the game on Star Station. Either way, Ben, what I want to say, Season 1, here, MajOr was in the Premier League. He went 0-2-0-2 against Hero and Alive, you know. Nothing to be really ashamed of, but also not something that, you know, is worth remembering to anyone. Season 2, MajOr was back in Premier League once more after making it out of Challenger. Of course, a very impressive achievement on its own. He was able to defeat Ryong 2-0, and Ryong considered to be a god, or at least close to it in TVT. That was fantastic. Then he lost 0-2 against Jim in a rather one-sided series, and then he lost 1-2 against Ryong in a good series, but, you know, once more it was just the round of 32. Can MajOr go all the way this time? Round of 16, maybe even round of 8? I'm gonna figure it out soon, man.
Today is certainly the first step in that journey. If he hopes to, he is making Reapers 2 at a time. Kev, one thing that we know about MajOr, at least if we go back a couple of years, is that TVT's always been a matchup that he's liked. He's always felt pretty comfortable in it. He's one of those guys that's kind of vocal about not liking particular parts of other matchups.
Yep.
And TVT, you know, it's your opponent has the same stuff that you have, so there's not really anything he can complain about here.
I'm focusing on TaeJa's vision right now. TaeJa has seen absolutely nothing. He does have 3 Marines on top of his ramp, but that is all. He's going to go up straight to Cloak Banshee most likely, as he's mining up double refinery. If he's not going to use his factory right now, I actually think, ooh, okay, MajOr is only going up to 3 Reapers. I think if you maybe would have gone up to 5.
Yeah, 5 or 7, and this could be
almost instant GG, because the Banshee's going to have a hard time chasing these Reapers as well.
But 4 Marines will be enough to deal with 3 Reapers. Although they could run around, they could be a little bit annoying. TaeJa's going to have to be quick with his reaction. And actually, the Reapers are going to slide right past. So we're going to see a couple of SCV kills, almost certainly. 1 down. 2 down.
This is already pretty good
for MajOr.
Not at all. He's going to be able to pick off 3 SCVs right now. Maybe even a 4th. That not. All the Reapers are still alive as well. Hellion is going to pop out on the wrong
jump. Oh, man, that Hellion MVP.
Getting the double kill.
So it has to be said, though, MajOr gets a great scout here. He popped through. He saw everything. He killed a couple of SCVs. Kev, this is the strength of the Reaper expand, even if it is the 2-Rex version.
Engineering Bay going down as well for MajOr. He realized that he's probably going to have to deal with Cloak Banshees, because that's definitely what it looked like. He's going to send his Rex over to the other side of the map as well. That's something we've seen him do in the past. We know that MajOr has a pretty solid mech style, and seems like he's going to just bust it up.
Cloak is still researching. MajOr checks that and sees, all right, Cloak's not ready yet. He's had about 30 seconds to get some turrets up. Maybe one more SCV kill. Up, up. Nope. That was the not the All-Star Hellion.
A couple of Marines are going to get scouted by this Rex, but they're actually going to ignore it, or ignore it at all.
Kev,
they didn't annoy it, but they ignored it.
I think MajOr's going to be fine. He's got a turret up. His starport is finished. He's just starting a Viking.
We don't mind.
Oh! I think at best, TaeJa's going to pick off a couple of Marines here. At worst, he's not going to do anything. And MajOr's going to find himself nice in the head here in the mid game. Oh, actually, this 5 Marine poke This changes everything.
This is going to be a little annoying right now. MajOr, all that he has is 4 Marines. He doesn't really want to walk down the ramp with just 4 Marines when he has to deal with 2 Hellions as well. This command center is going to take quite a bit of damage, but I do think that MajOr has enough time to survive and be fine eventually. Viking spawns now as well. He's going to put some pressure on this push of TaeJa.
Yeah, Mr. Allied Marine gets picked off for free, and MajOr's going to be forced to pull a couple of SCVs here. And man, TaeJa's Banshee looked like it was going to be completely useless, but he very intelligently walks his Marines across the map and is suddenly presenting a very frustrating little situation here to MajOr, who is going to have to continue to pull SCVs, and he's going to lose. Wow, he's actually losing so much here.
I'm actually starting to worry a little bit about this orbital command. I cannot imagine a world where that orbital is actually going to fall. He's going to have to drop his scan soon. Is he waiting for his second Viking? No, he's not, because he's making a Raven right now. Wow, this is starting to look a little dicey right now. Because the only thing, he still has only 10 army supply. I don't know if TaeJa is still reinforcing this, but he is. A little bit.
MajOr's also very nearly supply blocked, 34 of 38 supply. That orbital will land and should be repaired, will be repaired, so it's not going to die. But TaeJa has severely upset the early game of MajOr. MajOr has a single hero Marine.
Yeah, I saw that. He actually built that Marine from this racks on the other side of the map, and he was almost able to pick up that SCV. Was not able to complete it.
He did kill a mule, though.
Well, that's even bigger, man.
He killed a brand new mule, so
I mean, MajOr will stabilize right now finally. There's still 3 Banshees over here, but there is a Viking. Of course, the Banshees can't attack the Viking, so that single Viking, even when it's going to take a little while, will be able to take care of those Banshees and at least usher them away for now. There's a 3rd command center already in the main base from TaeJa, which I didn't even realize. So right now he doesn't just have the advantage that he's already mining and that his natural is up and running. He even has an additional command center in his main. And well, Ben, if you want to play...
Yeah.
I would say if you want to play mech, you definitely don't want to be economically behind, and that is definitely the case for MajOr right now. He's going to throw down his own 3rd command center. That was a pretty rough start for MajOr. It looked good. I think the repairs were okay, the 3 SCVs, but the fact that he didn't really have anything to protect his own stuff. Like, he was very well protected against the Banshees, like you mentioned as well. But those few Marines and those 2 Hellions cost a world of trouble.
It just upset everything, and TaeJa is now in a dominating position. 77 supply over 54. He's pushing again, Kev, with a siege tank, some Marines, a Raven of his own. I don't know that MajOr can really stop this. He doesn't have anything that deals well with the siege tank.
Yeah, it's going to all come down to control. So far, MajOr is doing this fantastic with these Hellions, dancing back and forth, not only stalling this push a little bit from TaeJa, but also picking up a few Marines here and there. How is your...
This is like a 3-base 1-1-1.
Yeah, the biggest problem is that MajOr doesn't have an ability to produce siege tanks right now.
And really does not have a good answer to the Banshees. PDD is going to go down. This can make these Vikings very useless. The Marines are going to walk right forward, and while the Hellions are doing a good job of dealing damage and ultimately dispatching those Marines, the Banshees overhead are just unanswerable, and MajOr is going to tap out. Good